All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show, the Awaken Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And today, my good friend Laurie Reyon is back with us, and we're talking about interspecies communication, restore your gift of clairaudience. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about coaching into consciousness. Do you want to develop your intuition? Would you like to connect to your guides and angels that are here to serve you? Would you like to communicate with your animal friends? Would you like to awaken to who you really are and expand your consciousness? All that and more. Plus, we're going to be doing a wonderful process. We're going to be taking live caller questions. And for those of you who don't know Laurie, she's been on our show many times. We always love to have her back. Usually Master Cat Kuda is also with us. Maybe she'll show up in a little bit.
Yeah, I think she will. If not, I can go pick her up and bring her in. So yeah.
It's always nice to have her energy as well. But Laurie is an internationally known interspecies communicator and soul healer, and her gifts allow her to speak to the animals and the angels and translate their messages to humanity. She specializes in communication with the great whales and dolphins and recognizes the cetaceans as the ancient beings and master healers on this planet. Reyon is the director of the Omnidimensional Mystery School in Southern California as well, and so much more. And obviously, as you can all tell, my voice is already starting to go, so I'm not sure what's going on. So we're just going to get right to it. And welcome, Laurie, back to the show. So glad you're here, Laurie.
Thank you, Laura. It's a pleasure and always an honor to be here with all of you. Thank you so much for asking us.
Oh, absolutely. And it's always so much fun. Like I was saying, it's like whenever you come on the show, it's always a high vibe call. We always learn a lot. We always experience a lot. And it's just such a joy. So I'm, like I said, I'm so glad you're here back with us to talk about interspecies communication. So let's just start with that. What is that? What does that mean exactly?
Well, it means that we all have the ability to communicate with other species other than humans. And because they don't speak, English or Spanish or French or the languages that humans speak, they use a telepathic form of communication where they all communicate all the time. And that was something that I was pleasantly surprised to learn from them. In other words, like your cat goes out in the backyard, the cat's talking to the dog next door, even if they can't see each other. And they're talking to the birds that are up in the trees. They're talking to the dolphins in the ocean. They're all talking all the time. Specifically, if there's a connection that they share, being neighbors or in the same family, like 2 or 3 dogs or two dogs and a cat, they're always talking, and almost always they're talking about you and ways that they can serve you. So when you, So we've talked before about animals being the greater body of healers and teachers on our planet. And you'll not really know that in the way I would like to say, I guess, that I know, or maybe Alara knows, until you experience it, until you tap in and you actually allow yourself to develop the gift of telepathy. It's also known as clairaudience, which is your ability to hear outside of your own verbal voice. Okay, so the ability to hear inwardly. And that's, of course, the way that you communicate with your guides. So some people break through to activating this gift by working with it in a class, or maybe just intention. Like, I really want to hear my dog, or I really want to hear my horse. Other people experience their guides in a way where maybe they'll hear one of them. Sometimes you can hear all of them. There are 3 for each person. But almost always when I'm coaching someone, what I call the speaker guide will step forward and will speak for all 3, because it's hard to hear 3 voices. I mean, even if they were human voices, it's hard to hear that much at once. So they want you to feel comfortable. They want you to relax and to trust that voice. Other times people will call it the inner voice. If you're not yet comfortable hearing another voice, because our society has taught us that to be schizophrenic and hear voices is crazy. Right. On the other hand, it's a very evolved gift. It's particularly for someone who would be considered schizophrenic that chooses to hear loving voices as opposed to negative voices, because they're all out there. Okay. And don't think for a minute that the negative voices don't try to contact you. You just have to say no. I use light as a shield, and I set up a grid around my house, and I blaze the violet flame, and I do unity breath, to keep my body at 0 point energy as much as possible. So that alone blocks out any kind of negativity. And of course, I listen to whale sounds. I work with whales. I do all the things I can do to bring in loving, positive energy and voices, and to block out anything that would be manipulative or dark. So, but if you have the gift of being able to hear other voices, like some people when they're born have that. I had that when I was born, but only with animals. I didn't necessarily have it with I guess you would say my guides or angels. Or if I did, I didn't know it, you know. Anyway, so, and other people will have it partially. Maybe they don't trust it. I mean, how many times have you been with kids and the kids are talking to somebody else that you can't see? Or they have what you would call imaginary friend. Well, it's really not imaginary. It's there, you know. So my goal now, really my major goal in life, is to open people to their gifts. And again, everyone has them. Everyone has a pineal gland, unless you've had it removed surgically. Everyone has a heart, or you wouldn't be sitting here listening to me talk. So when the heart can become your place of consciousness, and not the mind, the heart, then the heart will activate the third eye. If you're in your mind and you're dealing with what we'll call negative thoughts or emotions, the pineal gland shuts down. It's just like, oh, it's off. It's not going to work. It's only going to work through the presence and the energy of love. And the only way you can experience love is if you're in your heart. Your consciousness is in your heart, and you're allowing the natural ability of compassion and, you know, natural independence and freedom, your authentic self, in other words. Okay. So one of the first things I try to tell people is we do have to retrain ourselves. And I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy. I'm going to tell you that it's going to be a process of being focused. It doesn't have to be difficult, but you do have to focus. You have to watch or parent yourself when your thoughts turn to something negative or they turn into a judgment. Because, you know, let's face it, as a culture, religions, schools, education, government, all of that is geared toward telling you you have to be smart. What does that mean? Oh, you have to go into your mind. And you know what? That's not true. That's not where the smart comes from. We're all naturally intuitive and intelligent in everything that we need to be. We all are. We just have to tap into that and trust it. I always tell people, what if you're in your heart and you're getting something that feels, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but you're new, like, you know, maybe it's a little bit overwhelmed or it's pushing you into an area you haven't been before. What if you're the only person on the planet getting that message? What if it's for you to get the message to bring to the world? How about that? That's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
and that's trusting that inner voice. So the more we can go into the heart and we can step into what I call the divinity that you are embodied with, then I guess the real question is getting comfortable with the word God or source or prime creator or something that's you consider larger than yourself that assisted you in coming into this body. The other part, of course, would be Mother Earth and the energy of the goddess. Those are very powerful energies to connect to that will keep you balanced, will keep you in what I say, the heart, the love space, and will allow you to develop your gifts naturally so that you can hear the voices of, and everybody's different. I've worked with a lot of people that hear the elementals, you know, they hear the fairies or they talk to crystals. All of these things are possible. My specialty really was horses growing up. I mean, horses were my best friends, my first teachers. I loved horses. I remember making a little diagram when I was a child in school. You know how you draw the art projects, and I came home and my mom put it on the refrigerator and it says, how I love. And I had God at the top, and then right below that I had horses. And then below that was my mom and dad. My mom said, well, I'm glad I'm at least third. You know, like how you feel about your emotions, because kids are very in touch with that. So our goal now is to overcome the lack of integrity, greed, corruption, all of that negativity that's around you without having it impact you. And we're not really here necessarily to change every single person and tell them they have to come into the heart and be a good person. I mean, you can suggest it, but if they don't want to, they're not going to do it. It has to be a free will decision, because all of the concepts that make you a God being revolve around freedom and your use of free will. That's something that's very sacred to our planet. And you know, the truth is, Master Buddha would even tell you that even God doesn't know what you're going to do tomorrow because he's given you free will. So, and perhaps you don't even know what you're going to do tomorrow. So when we operate within the free will zone and we're having an awakening or we're exercising spiritual mastery, then we don't step out of the heart. We just, if we find ourselves like going a little bit over here into a judgment, you immediately go, oh, that feels yucky. You pull your energy back into your heart and you go, besides that, it's none of my business. That's that person's thing. Or that's that group of people's thing. It's not my thing. And you get back to, again, focusing on why you're here, what you're here to do, and how you can create joy each and every day, because joy it's the rocket fuel, really. I mean, it's like when the car runs out of gas, it's not going to run. You can do all you want, but it's just going to sit there. It's not going to run. So when you run out of source energy and you don't fill up with source energy, you're not going anywhere either. You're just sort of spinning around and you feel confused, you feel tired, sometimes despair. So the goal is going back and just reprogramming ourselves. First thing in the morning, what do you want to do? You want to fill the tank with source energy and with the energy of the earth herself, because she's your mother. And you come to that energy of what we call a unity balance, or science is calling it 0 point.
Mhm.
And with that, your frequency is rising up now out of the polarized dualistic world, which is a hologram, by the way. I mean, we're all living in a hologram. You just get to program it. So you rise up to where you're more of an engineer now with your life as opposed to a player. And then you can write your own lines, so to speak. You know, you can write your own script. You can create whatever you want. And law of attraction, of course, becomes very, very useful because it operates on the principle that each of us are creators. And so your mantra, what I think and what I feel, I bring into form. I am a conscious creator. I'm creating consciously now. I'm not just randomly floating down the river,
Mhm.
scared of everything I see because somebody told me to be scared. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I love that, because I've been having a few thoughts in my head today that have been really bothering me. And they're things that somebody had said, so it's like, okay, it's not mine,
Right,
that
right,
thought, but it did impact me. So it's like, okay, I have to look at where am I hooking into that thought, so
right, right,
there's a point of like, understanding, but then there's also the point of, okay, enough. And that's not mine. It's not serving me. It's not empowering me. It's not making my day any
right,
better. So I'm going to like, nope, push it out.
right,
Right.
right. If it isn't loving, Master Buddha always says, don't. Don't
Yeah.
think it, don't fax it, don't type it, don't walk it, don't talk it. If it isn't loving, it has no place in your life. And when you come to that place and that vibration, you choose that,
Mhm.
you absolutely, I mean this in the best possible way. You absolutely don't care what anyone else thinks because you're on the path. And you
Mhm.
also know that this path is uniquely yours and you don't have to make anybody else happy except yourself. And then you find out the next step of that is when you're happy, you're radiating coherence. Even science has proved that now. Look at heart math. The
Yeah.
coherence of your heart ripples out and the field grows. And if you study Merkaba, you find out, wow, I'm at least 55 feet out here and I'm radiating love and joy. And everybody, pretty much everybody turns around and feels that. Even if you never say a word, they're going to feel that coherence.
Mhm.
And everybody wants to be in a love space. They want to feel love. So the only people that won't generate, how do I say, an idealism about being around you, the ones that run for the hills, so to speak, they're very connected at that point to darkness or negativity. And it's not wrong. It's just their
Mhm.
choice. And they're
Yeah.
probably not going to come and sit and listen to you talk. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No, and I love what you said at the very beginning about how it's a daily ritual of maintaining your energy field, raising your vibration, like,
Yes.
protecting your grid, around your home and everything. It's a daily thing. It's not just a one and done. It's a daily process that we need to do to maintain, our vibration and our
Right.
frequency and what we are wanting to create.
Yes. Yes. And I would just make one slight suggestion would be it's not need to, it's get to.
Mhm.
We get
Mhm.
to,
Yeah.
because need implies that there's a lack. So, but I will tell you, in my world, and most of the people I know that are on a spiritual path, if you don't do some kind of morning meditation to balance the energy, you don't make a connection. In my case, I live in sacred space. I refresh the directions first thing in the morning. I blaze the violet flame throughout the day, throughout my house. I play whale sounds. And science has even proven now that listening to whale sounds turns your blood chemistry, your little water cells, into star tetrahedrons. That's the light body.
Mhm.
So it's no accident that the whales told me 19 years ago that they're here to create light body. I
Yeah.
didn't get it, but I'm starting to. It's like, oh yeah, they're healing us. Oh wow, they're old. They know this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't do some process or several processes, when I leave the house, I layer myself in light. So I don't feel the lower energies being attracted to me. Because as you're generating a lot of light, the opposite is going to be attracted to you. So,
Mm.
and I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm just saying, so if you're layered in light, they can't really approach. Okay.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
bounce off and then they're going to go do something else. So remember, the first thing we said was if you're not connected to source, you're not filling your tank with source light. And you want that.
Absolutely.
You really want that. And so they don't remember how to do that. So they're looking for source light in other people. And then if they could get to you, then they're going to snatch on and they're going to start draining your energy. That's why you get tired when you're in a toxic environment or in a room full of people arguing. You get tired
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
because
sure.
they're draining you. It's like well, Buddha would say they're human vampires. They want source light and they don't know how to get it. They haven't remembered. So they're going to try to get yours. And
Yeah.
basically that's not really a nice thing to do, is it? So
No.
it doesn't mean that we don't want to help them. It means that we have a right to have a sacred boundary around ourselves, around our homes, around our cars.
Yeah.
We have that right to do that. But if you don't create that, it's sort of like, well, what would you say to someone that said, I feel really slimy and dirty and my clothes are dirty? What would you say to them? You'd say, well, did you take a shower? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, right? As soon as they take a shower, they're going to feel better, right? Wash their clothes. It's just like that.
Absolutely.
Just part of being on earth.
Yeah. And it's a part of life. And it's a part of, you know, if we're wanting to create consciously our lives, it's what we get to do. Like you said, it's what we get to do.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, right? So there's always a way to shift the energy. If you feel yourself sliding in any direction outside of love, go back to the heart. And there's different ways to learn how to do that. I was very fortunate to study with Drunvalo Melchizedek in, 2009, 10, 11. And I learned the Flower of Life teachings, and it changed everything for me because I knew I was a heart-centered person. I knew that I basically loved my life, and, I was in touch with the things I loved, but I didn't know how to leave the mind and go into the heart specifically. I didn't really know that. And that's what I learned. And now that's what I teach. So more people in the heart makes a better world,
Absolutely. Powerful.
Yeah.
I totally agree. That's what I keep telling my clients all the time, including myself. Get out of the head, come back to your heart space, come back to your heart space, come back to your heart space, and people are like, it's hard. It's like, yeah, I know, because that mind is so strong. It's so powerful. And it's a habit, right? It's like those thoughts have become habits. That's it.
And think of the years of schooling where you've trained your mind to think that you're smart, or to think that you're going to get the job because you're competitive, or you're going to knock someone else over for this. It's also the whole principle of there isn't enough to go around. You have to fight. It's a survival energy, which is a fear-based philosophy, which isn't true. I would tell you that there's always been enough food. There's always been enough water. There's even always been enough blankets and medicine. We just haven't distributed them properly because people were in fear. So they stockpiled stuff, or they thought there wasn't enough to go around. That's not true. When we follow in the path of the cetaceans, who are the older beings on our planet, the dolphins 30 million years and the whales 300 million, they live in what they call the pod mind, which is the group energy of everything is to be shared. Everything is to be supported. Nobody anywhere ever needs anything because we're telepathic and we know if they need something, immediately we go to them. What if you knew down the street the neighbor's sick and her baby needs milk? Would you not get in the car and go get her some milk?
Yeah.
But you don't know that because you're not tuned into that yet. So we're just little toddlers coming along, learning how to live in the pod mind, which is the good of the many. And when we fully are embraced in the pod mind, everybody will have everything they need. There will be no more survival. Okay. We'll just be given it. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you. So Linda was asking in the chat, do you ask your cells to be filled with light every day?
I do. Specifically, the first thing I do is if it's nice weather, and I live in Southern California, so it's pretty much nice, as I make sure I step outside. So I've got direct sunlight. It works without that, but it's good for us to have direct light. And I do a unity breath meditation, which is basically connecting to the earth and grounding yourself, just dropping your light down and saying hello. And if you ask, like as you're doing that, you summon the energy of Mother Earth. She responds immediately. You can do it right now. Everybody just drop into the earth, and you will immediately feel a response as the energy comes right back up through your feet, comes up through your torso, and then you can direct it into the heart, where it starts to form a ball of light that starts going into the bloodstream, basically. And this is the divine feminine, and it isn't just for women. The divine feminine is the energy of creation, basically. It's the energy of passion and compassion. And so this is a very good thing to do. And throughout the day, I mean, if you feel, lightheaded or, maybe not really connected to what you're doing, just ground. Mother Earth will help you, and the elementals, and your own, what they call body elemental is there too. So then I open my crown chakra and I connect to the sun. And I love to do that outside. But again, you don't have to. There's a whole bunch of people in the world that work in offices with fluorescent lights, and, it's just not healthy. If they can do that and connect directly through the roof to the sun, it will come down energetically and come down into the heart and form a ball of light that's right next to the ball of Mother Earth. So you've got these two balls of the male and the female, mother and father energies, creator energies. They really are your mother and father, okay? Because source light comes to our planet through the sun. And then you can say, I'm seeking a unity balance. I'm seeking 0 point energy. And of course, the third point is the heart itself, which is the seat of the soul. So your own soul you can't really get in touch with the eternal part of yourself. Some people call it the I am presence. Some people call it the higher self. It's the soul. That's eternal. It's always been present, always has been, always will be, and goes through life basically changing costumes, one body to the next. Okay, so it knows everything. It's definitely the being that you want driving the car driving this vehicle.
For sure.
You don't want your personality doing that. Put your personality in the back and give yourself some games to play with, because you're not really that focused yet. You shouldn't be driving. You get this all up there driving, and it will always take you where you want to go. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Thank you. So yes, so when we are wanting to speak with our pets, or speak with the whales, or speak with our body even, right?
Yes.
And the earth, the element. I mean, there's, like, we talked about this yesterday on the call about the different allies, divine allies that we have, but we can speak to many of them telepathically, like you said. So here today we're talking about, specifically about the clairaudience, right? The gift of hearing, right? Clear hearing. But it doesn't necessarily mean inside your head, right? So can you just give a brief explanation about clairaudience for people who may not know?
It's clear hearing. It's the ability to hear, how we talked about all beings are always communicating. And they're using that word that really is clear. They're clairaudiently communicating, telepathically communicating, and of course the higher beings like the dolphins and maybe the angels, they're also communicating holographically. So they're hearing and they're also seeing. Like some of you may know, you've contacted the dolphins before, and a dolphin will respond to you, and they'll come back to you and they'll give you an inner vision. They won't just say, "Oh yeah, I went to the park and I was playing with a little girl." They'll say, "I went to the park, it was 70 degrees, there were 18 trees, and the little girl was wearing a pink top and playing with a red ball." They'll give you you'll see it in the sense of they'll give you a whole visual to go with the message, because they have the ability to do that. I don't think I have the ability to do that yet. I'd like to, but I definitely have the ability to communicate words or concepts telepathically. And that's a great place to be, because I would like everybody to be able to communicate with their guides and with their animals that live with them, if they're willing to hear the truth. Okay, animals are a lot more apt to talk to you if you're not criticizing them, or you're not telling them that they're wrong, or you're not shutting them in the house and leaving the, animals aren't meant to be inside, is my point. I mean, they can be inside, but they shouldn't be living inside. They need to be outside, just like you do. You need to put their feet on the earth. That's a huge part of how they heal. And I don't mean heal themselves, I mean heal you. Okay, because our animals take on our negativity, and then they need to go outside and give it to the earth and the sun and refresh themselves. So anyway, one of the best ways I think to practice is to start out with a pendulum, but there's one little safeguard. The pendulum, a couple, let me show it to you. Something like this. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. But if you use a pendulum to ask a question and then receive an answer, you have to absolutely not know the answer. You have to be innocent. You have to be pure. If you're going to ask the pendulum a question and you already think you know the answer, it's not going to work, because your mind will take over and it will tell it what to do. So it's called muscle testing. And your intuitive part of you, the kinetic part of you, that's the muscles, the organs, the blood, all of that is tapped into source all the time. It's about the frequency of consciousness being connected to that. In other words, your body knows how to heal. You don't. I mean, you don't really know. You look at a cut on your arm, you don't go, "Okay, let's heal this cut." You don't know how to do that. Your body knows how to do that. Does that make sense? It's innate. It's innate.
It's innate.
So you want to tap into the innate, you have to come to that place being totally pure and innocent if you're going to use a pendulum. Okay, like show me yes, show me no. And again, it's very limiting to what it can tell you, but it's a start. If you can clear your whole consciousness in your mind and come from the heart, and then you connect your pendulum, declare it holy, sacred, declare it a vehicle of source light, a vehicle of truth, and bring it to your heart and cleanse it for a moment, and then it will work for you. And the reason I brought this up is because using a pendulum can help people develop what I call yes and no. And my guides taught me to teach people how to activate that through guide phonetics. So in other words, let's say I want to learn to hear a yes from my guides. And it's just like I'm a kindergartner now and I'm walking into the room and the teacher is writing Y-E-S on the blackboard. You've never seen that. You have no idea what she's doing. It's great to you. But you know what the word yes means because you've learned that from your parents before you're 6 years old. You know how to say yes. So she's going to connect you to the word yes, the consciousness of yes, to the Y-E-S on the blackboard. Does that make sense? So from that moment forward, whenever you see Y-E-S, yes, you're gonna make that connection. That's what the pendulum does for you. Okay, so if you ask a lot of questions to your pendulum that the answer to is already known to you as a yes. Like here's an example. I've got my pendulum, I'm in my sacred space, and I say, I'm seeking a clear yes from my guides. So I say, is my name Laurie Reyon? And then I wait for the yes. Okay, and it can come from the pendulum or it can come from the innate. They'll give you something. It might be lights, might be emotion in your body, might be audible. That yes is going to come to you from your guides, and they're really seeking to make that connection. Do I have a cat named Puda? Is today February 3rd, 2022? And I get the yes. Okay, ask the questions that you know the answer to is yes, so you can start to validate what's coming to you from your guides until it's locked in. And after you have it several times, and maybe you like that, whatever that yes is, for me, I see light. So then I say, okay, that's it. That's it. That's my yes. Let's always have that. And it will always be that until you evolve and change a little more and you can hear a little more. And then do the same thing with no. Ask questions you know the answer to is no. Say to your guides, I'm seeking to understand no. When you're telling me no, I want to hear it because you're trying to help me, So help me find a no. And again, with the pendulum is a good way, but also just asking the questions that you know the answer to is no. So in other words, is my name John Thomas? No. Am I wearing a polka dotted dress? No. Is it Saturday? No. Is it snowing here? No. You see, simple no's. And so you get a whole bunch of them lined up. You get the same thing every time from your guides. You say, that's it. That's my no. So now I've got a yes and a no. And that's a foundation anyway, for guide communication. Okay. That'll get you started.
Absolutely. So Madalena is asking the same question, I think, kind of that I asked. Would you consider clairaudience and telepathy the same thing? She said, I can telepathically hear insights, not voices. Would you consider it clairaudience?
I consider it the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. The word, though, telepathy implies that you're exploring a whole language that's nonverbal to me. So when I say to people I'm a telepath, when I tune into someone's guides or angels or another dog or a cat, they give me permission. It has to be permission. Or, really anything. The consciousness of a soul or someone who's passed over. I would say I'm a universal channel at this point. My telepathy will allow me to hear the voice that's given to me through permission in English. I'll be able to hear it in a way I understand it and I can write it down and I can speak it back to you. Clairaudience means clear hearing. I don't know, I think it's pretty much the same thing, but telepathy to me means language. Okay. Yeah. It's like a whole language in itself. And everybody speaks that language that's not in human form, just using the verbal communication. It's nonverbal communication.
Yeah, and it's about communication. So it's you communicating with them. So it's not just a one way, right?
Right. It's being able to hear back and forth conversations.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's important. It's not just about the getting messages or just hearing, Yeah,
it can work with people too, but the person you're going to telepath with has to agree to it. And they have to be willing and of course capable. A good example for me was I worked with Grandma Chandra. Some of you may know her. She's a telepath and she only speaks non-verbally because she's in a disabled body. So she was one of the first people to say, you can hear me. And I heard her say, you can hear me. And I went, who's talking? And then I realized after working with her. And then she just blatantly put me on the spot, which I recommend you do with yourself. We were doing an event together where I was promoting her here in San Diego. This is like 15 years ago. And I was sitting at the door taking the tickets, where the people come through the door and then they go sit down to see the event that grandma was going to present. And at that point, her mother was her voice. Okay. And it was time to start the event. And she has this copper four-sided pyramid that she sets up, and then they have like a love seat inside of it. And she's sitting there with her mom. And she communicates with her mom like this. She touches her. And it's not all telepathic in that way. I mean, it is, but the signals come through the touch. And so her mom's name is Kat. And she said, okay, grandma, it's time to start the presentation now. And she kept going, no, no, no. And finally she said, well, all these people have come to see you. What do you want me to tell them? And she said, I want Laurie. I want Laurie. Laurie was sitting near the door and was ready to sprint, I was like, no, no, no. And I said to her, I just do cats and dolphins. That's all I was really doing at that time. I can't do humans. And she said, yes, you can. And I'm not going to start this presentation until you come sit next to me. So I did, and something happened. She dropped something down around my neck, almost like a lasso. I felt it. It was like a white rope or something. And then I could hear her really clear. So obviously she was assisting me. Right. But she also knew I had the capability. I just hadn't acknowledged it yet with another human. And that was the beginning. And all the time I was saying what she wanted me to say to the group, telepathing with her. I knew that this is going to be for the rest of my life. I knew she was going to corner me and use me. I went, oh my God, it's not just going to be this one time, I knew. And I was happy, but I was also scared. It's kind of had to go through my own fears,
Yeah.
Because naturally you want to represent that person in the best way you can, Yeah. So, but she taught me, and she also got me to do my first boat trips, because at that point I had seasickness and I had to heal that. And she came to my first big healing center that I had with 4 other people. I think it was like 2004. And I was starting the whale healing center and working with the Pleiadians. And anyway, she said, when are you going to do your real work? And I went, I am doing my real work. You're here. Look, we have the healing center. I mean, we're having the whale. She said, yeah, that's good. But you really need to be out on the boat, out in the water with the dolphins and whales, giving the messages to the people. You need to get out on the water. And I said, well, I throw up, so it's not going to work. I've tried my whole life. I got plane sick, boat sick, car sick, you name it. I was motion sickness. She said, so, wow, when are you going to heal it? She said, how about this? I'm going to go home and then I'll come back in a month. I'll give you a month. Okay, so get with it. And then we'll do a boat trip. And if you throw up on everybody, I'll do the messages. Okay, but I think you can do it.
And you did.
I did. That was the first one. And I needed her to help me, the courage.
Yeah.
I did. So now I help other people with seasickness, which is so awesome because, it's nasty.
But she knew that you could do that, right? So she was tuned into you, tapped into you. She knew what was possible for you. She knew something greater was possible. So she saw your potential. She
helped me so much, and just by pushing me,
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Take that with a grain of salt, but we should be pushing ourselves into the areas where we might feel fear, till that we don't feel fear anymore, right? That we go through it. It's almost like you're on an airplane and someone pushes you out, and now your parachute opens, but you wouldn't have jumped by yourself, kind of thing.
No.
It's like that. Yeah.
True. Absolutely. Edith, you have your hand raised. Did you have a question for Laurie about, go ahead, clairaudience or telepathy, etc.?
Yeah. Well, first, Laurie, I had the opportunity to I was selected for a call in December, and you talked to one of my cats, and she became euphoric that very night. And she plays so much now and runs around the house. And ever since that conversation, and the conversation was that she was here for me and that I need to play more and to do more self-love. And I don't have to give advice to people. I can just be myself and let the energy, my energy, give them what they need. I mean, just to shorthand it. So I thought you might be interested to know that she is just bouncing off the walls with delight since that conversation. And then since he hopped up, I was wondering if Kintui, he had hopped on my lap and was most of the time you were talking. I wondered if he had a message since he jumped on my lap.
His name is what?
Hintui, it's a one of the Native American languages. It means balancing will and wisdom using love.
Okay. And you want a message from him.
Yeah, if he has one. I know he doesn't need to be on screen, but he's awfully cute.
Hi, honey. Okay, so the first thing I do is I ask permission if, you know, this is something that Kantui wants to do. Okay, let me close my eyes now. He said yes. So the first thing he's saying is he wants you to work with the word worthiness, the word I'm deserving, to declare your divinity more often to yourself and to others when it's appropriate. Claiming a higher vibration just through not letting anything or anyone tell you that you're not worthy of whatever it is you would desire to create or do that's for the highest and best good. He says you're not getting enough rest. And he said this is kind of for everybody right now because the earth is having such a huge influx of energy right now, which kind of peaked on January 22nd. I was going to talk about that in a little bit. And so it's okay if you need to take a nap or sleep a little longer right now, because the codes of creation within us are being rewritten and amplified and accelerated, and it means your physical body needs rest more. So, and the last thing I'm hearing from him is he's saying that you're born to be, I think the word's entrepreneur, to be a leader, to be self-employed, not so much to march to anyone else's drum. Does that make sense?
It does. I've actually been self-employed for quite a number of years, but I'm feeling like I'd like to do something else that has more in-person interactions with people.
Has more what?
More in-person interactions with people.
Okay.
I work by phone. I do homeopathy.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very good.
you know, it's sort of, I don't know, I think I might be, maybe it can only be, you know, a couple
Well, I
hours.
think the essence of the message is when we're born, we have soul contracts, and some of us are here to support a project or an idea or to help something manifest to come forward into the earth that someone else has invented, so to speak, or someone else has made the foundation for. And we're guided to that and to help that project or that situation. In other words, believe in what you do. But some people are born to lead, and they're not going to feel comfortable trying to play the part of the pod. You know what I'm saying? To be a worker bee in that particular project or idea or that job. So don't feel like you have to fit into the box of bending yourself to fit into a situation that's not uniquely yours. That you're here more to lead. And that doesn't mean that I'm here to lead too. It doesn't mean we're better than anyone else. And it doesn't mean we're more loved than anyone else. It just means we have a different soul assignment.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's just different. It's just different.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of people in my life where I try to get them, I guess you'd say, I don't want to say it from ego, but to be like me. I want them to, here, you take this and you go do that, you know, and you create that and then come back to me. And they're like, no. I mean, they don't say it like that, but I mean, they're not comfortable doing that. They go like, you started and then I'll work on it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've tried to, I guess that's the part of, you know, us is trying to think that everybody's like us, and they're not. I think it took a lot of years. It takes a lot of maturity to realize that everybody's not like you, and it's okay. The diversity of life is what makes life wonderful, isn't it? So to not try to make other people like us or do it the way we would do it, you know. Okay.
Yeah, more like together we'll get it all done. Some people want to.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. It's the group energy and finding your place in the group. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for showing us your cat. That's pretty cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he's deep in meditation. He's not even.
I see that. He's enjoying being in the place of being the speaker. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he's dynamic guy. Thank you so much. You just get more powerful all the time. You're really amazing.
I think we are growing in our power, and I don't mean just me. I mean, as a collective, we are too. You know, the more we remember about who we are, the more we can embrace these God-given gifts that we all have. You know.
Yeah, but each time I encounter you, I feel like, oh my gosh, in the last like 2 months, she's so different. So
Well,
it's
I'm going to say
cool.
thank you. My partner's voice is saying to me, "Can you not accept a compliment, Mom?"
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Thank
so awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Edith.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Let me just mute you. All right. So of course we have a lot more hands raised and questions in the chat, and most of the people in the chat have questions about their pets, what kind of messages they have for them. So it's interesting.
All I can say is we can try, we can ask them. And if they want to say something, then I'll tell you what they're saying.
So Angela is saying that she has 2 German Shepherds. Rusty chases everyone. We have to keep him locked during the day. And Caesar, the father, is so calm. How can we get Rusty to calm down? What message is he trying to send?
Because he wants to run?
He keeps chasing everybody.
Okay. Well, does he get enough exercise? Does he get to be outside and run and play?
All right.
Well, it's like, this is my philosophy with kids too. They say they're hyperactive. They can't get them to sit still. I don't know, indigo kids, whatever. I think we need teachers that can keep up. That's what I think. I wouldn't drug them or try to push them down into a seat and say, sit here and learn this, let them be, let them run and play and be who they are. That's my philosophy though. I think we could be learning from them.
She said, yes, he does, gets enough exercise, but he attacks everyone and everything.
Okay. Well, so in that case, we're looking at some type of soul contract where, so who in your family also has that trait of aggression? So he's mirroring something to someone. He's showing you, and that would be very hard to do on the show today because I would need to tune into each of your family members unless you're already getting the answer. Almost always when there's a negative behavior or they take on a disease, because they have no karma. So there's no reason for them to ever get sick unless they're taking on something for one of us.
No, Angela says many siblings are aggressive.
So
many of her siblings.
Okay, so the dog is demonstrating that, and was in demonstrating it is asking for more peace. Like, stop doing this, let me show you what it looks like. It's not pleasant, is it? So
Yeah.
maybe you could talk to the other family members about, their own spiritual mastery and how they can come to a place of peace within them by living in their hearts. And then they would open up to a different level of communication from the world, starting with the dogs, Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully that makes sense, Angela. So more peace, right? For you and everybody else around you.
Yeah.
In your world, right? For sure.
Yeah. So if the animal or the child has, or, the young person has too much energy, it's really not too much. It's just a matter of how to use it or how to understand it. I mean, we would never want to dumb down the energy because it's something that you want. And just because they have more of it than you do, doesn't mean you should take it away from them. You should just try to understand it,
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Absolutely. And Deborah is saying she has a question about or for the whales regarding the beluga whales in the Cook Inlet in Alaska. What's your question, Deborah?
It's better if you can speak. Do you have a microphone where you can speak?
I think.
All right, there it is. Okay, got it on. Yes, there's a decrease in the population and a lot of concern from people that live in this area and scientists, and just want to know if there's any information that can support knowing more about what we can be doing to extend love and teaching and healing for the species.
For the beluga whales?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you probably have noticed the beluga whales are not, I don't want to say they're not friendly, but they're not here for humanity in the way that you think they might be.
Mm-hmm.
They're very elusive. They're barely here at all in physical form. I mean, I can look at a beluga whale and see through them actually. So, I mean, they're here and they're working for the earth and for the waterways, the ley lines, doing different types of adjustments to the earth. There isn't a human to whale communication there in the way that you would have if you worked with the dolphins or the humpbacks or the grays. Those are the ones that I've had, success in communicating with, and they have absolute powerful messages for humanity and how we can learn to live together. We can heal the earth and heal ourselves. But belugas are, I would just use my energy field to pray that humanity in the collective that we have learns to clean up the earth, the toxicity in the water and the different things that we're doing to harm the earth, that would be the best thing we could do to help the belugas.
Yes.
And, okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, Deborah. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, Deborah. There we go. All right, Agnieszka, you had your hand raised as well? You want to unmute yourself? Yes or no?
Unmute. Yes, I'm unmuting myself. Hi, can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so I would like to ask about my cat. One second.
Maybe we should have done an
Start
animal
video.
communication call today.
Yes, start. Yes, and now, okay. So this is cat who helped me to raise from depression. I was in a very, very deep depression, and he came. No, I want to cry now. He sat on the window in the rain and he meowed. And at that time in my life, I couldn't get up from bed and I was disconnecting from all outside world. And he just meowed and I couldn't let him stay outside. So I let him into my life as well. And but we call him he, she. We didn't know if this is he or this is she. So we called him he, she. And it's a boy.
That's cute.
But he's so grumpy. And he used to be so aggressive. And when I touch him, he was like, don't touch me. And recently we have a kitten. And this kitten made him be more friendly. And he's more lively. But I was wondering, can you ask him if he's got any message for me? And maybe he can say why he is so grumpy. If something disturbs him in his life, that we could help him to be more friendly.
Okay. So are you grumpy?
Me? No, my husband is grumpy.
Okay. All right. So I think we're looking at a situation of he's asking you guys to look in the mirror, Yeah. He says, I'm not grumpy. I'm just showing you what grumpy looks like. Yeah. Healing energies for this grumpiness would be to listen to whale sounds in your house.
Okay.
Science has even proven now that humpback whale sounds change the molecular structure of the water in the blood. It starts in 30 seconds. Okay. They carry the codes of creation and they start to create star tetrahedrons in your own bloodstream in just 30 seconds. So here we play whale sounds every day to keep the house clean. Of course, we play them because we like them. And of course, sometimes it will catalyze a message from the whales. Not always, but sometimes. I was playing them just before I called in on this call so I could raise my vibration. He says, you specifically, I don't know how to say your name, so forgive me there, but would benefit from going to visit large bodies of water that you regenerate in water. So at home, you can take a sea salt bath or go in the jacuzzi, go to the ocean, go to the lakes, go to where there are waterfalls and just let yourself, be in nature and absorb that energy of the water.
You mean go inside of the water or just be around the water?
I wouldn't say you're going to go in the water unless it's warm enough, but go at least beside the water. Okay. But at home, you can go into the bathtub. And it will change your frequency, particularly if, like, say you ideally go to the ocean, sit near the ocean and take a boombox or iPod and play whale sounds while you're listening to them, meditate with the waterways and bless the water and bless the waters of the world. And that's part of your soul contract is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I live in Scotland. We have plenty of lakes and seaside. We do trips with my husband to the seaside and to the lakes. It's nice. So nice.
So bring the blessing energy of I communicate with this water and I'm going to raise the vibration of the water and then spread it all over the world. Okay. That will help because that's part of your soul mission is to bless the waters. And when you drink water, bless the water. and then let that ripple out to bless the waterways and the water in the tap. Years ago, I learned about water blessings, and I continued to stay on that path and study with people who were building water wheels like Marshall Jack, and go to the headwaters of different places and cleanse the waters. But I started just in San Diego, just where I would say the prayer for me not to touch any water that isn't blessed, so to speak. In other words, whenever the water comes out of the tap, or I use the restroom, or I take a bath or a shower, I go to the ocean, blessing, 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 understanding that I have the power to change the structure of water through my intention, through my prayers. And I was, in that space for a while, learning about it. And I remember one time I was in my car and I'm coming back from an appointment, and I stopped at a gas station to buy gas, and I had to use the restroom, which normally, you don't want to use the restroom at the gas stations, right? They're not that clean, but I had to go. So I went and got the key, and I went into the bathroom and used the restroom. And then I went to wash my hands, and the toilet wouldn't flush and the water didn't come out of the tap. And so I went in to tell the restroom guy, or the gas station attendant, that the water wasn't working in the bathroom. And he said, "What?" And he said, "Come with me." And he walked into the bathroom with me, and he turned on the water, and it came out just fine for him. And I didn't understand why it wouldn't work for me. And then I went and got in the car, and of course my guides came in and said, "Remember your prayer that you would not touch any water until it was blessed." Well, you hadn't blessed the water yet in that bathroom. So So such is the power of our, our prayers. So anyway, I'm just being guided to tell you, have so much more power than you're using. So take it away,
Okay.
So thank you, Agnieszka.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you. Okay, so second.
And we're thanking the cats.
No, it's great. And the thing is like we all have more power than we realize that we have. We've given our power away to so many different things. So part of for all of us, part of our contract is to bring back the power, to reclaim our power. I don't know,
Right.
It's not about bringing back. It's like we've always had it, right? But it's about remembering and acknowledging that we are powerful beings in our own right, and that we can affect change in our lives for our highest good.
Correct. Yes. Every
Right.
day, changing your vibration, bringing in more light, being able to carry more light. That's the joy of working with the dolphins and whales, that they're masters of that. They teach us how to integrate and hold more light. And light is wisdom, right?
Mhm.
Light is memory coming back, wisdom, healing abilities, all that coming back through our connection to hold more light without putting our finger in the light socket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that, obviously there's lots of people with hands raised and questions in the chat about their pets, etc. But I know we also wanted you had a special process you wanted to do and a special message as well. And we also want to talk about the special offer as well. So where do you want to go next? What do you think is,
you choose what's next. I'm good. I'm good either way.
Okay, so let's just take a moment and talk about the special offer, because it's already almost at the top of the hour. So I want to talk about that, and then we'll go forward after that. So I'm just going to, because we tend to get sidetracked a little bit sometimes. It's so much fun talking and getting messages and all that wonderful stuff. It's like, okay, there's some other stuff I have to do as well. So 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the package that you have for us this time around. And we have 4 products and 7 workshops. And so some of the products we've worked with before, but some of the workshops we haven't. So let's talk about a little bit about some of these products and workshops. They're all amazing. They're all powerful. And they can all help each one of you to raise your vibration of yourself and also of your space as well. So Laurie, let's talk about these products first, and then we'll talk about the workshops.
Ascension Guidance is the CD that we made as a compliment to go with our movie about 5 years ago. We have a movie out called Ascension Guidance, Living in Your Sacred Heart. And it's a step-by-step kind of primer on how to raise your vibration to claim your gifts, right? Where you talked about, you're not going to be effective at being telepathic or clairaudient until you raise your vibration, unless there's something else physically blocking you. So this particular audio track goes nicely with the movie. Also, it's something you can listen to in the car. The movie is free, by the way. If you go to our website and go to our products page, it's at the top. You click on it, it's free. And it's messages from the oversoul of Puda and the dolphins and whales, advising us on how to raise our vibration. Everything from just meditation to the unity breath, to the Merkaba, to the pineal gland, and how to create light body with the whales at the end. It's really nice. Really prayers. It's a really good one.
And a lot of this stuff we talked about is what you do every day for yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
Yeah.
I do all of those things. Yes. This CD download is more again about interspecies communication. It's a little bit more advanced than the first one. It has a whole 30-minute section on conscious time travel. So, you know, if you've never considered that, or you thought that that's not part of your belief system, you might want to try it. Some people call it rebirthing. There's a lot of different ways to time travel, but the one that Puda recommends is that you rebirth yourself first, removing any and all negativity or toxicity in your timeline, so that you can rise up into, you know, more quantum energy. Entering your sacred heart is, I think it's the most popular and powerful meditation I've ever made. And it teaches you to do exactly what we're doing here today, using the Flower of Life teachings. So that many people will tell me they do that every morning. And so it's a process of going into the heart, and then it's messages from the dolphins on how to tune your energy that day. Like, remember that you're sacred. Remember that all life has free will. Don't ever, you know, try to take that away. It has universal messages. Master Puda's sacred song is Opening Sacred Space, using the shamanic way or the indigenous way. So, and it's beautiful. Well-guided meditation, again, is to remember self. I think we've done that one on this show before. It's really great. Dolphins and DNA is a signature message I got in 2008, where the dolphins tell us that they're the epigeneticists on the planet. So if you listen to Bruce Lipton or any of the other, you know, Greg Braden, scientists now telling you that, you know, science has proven now that we're not bound to our genes. We're not bound to what mom and dad gave you. We can change all of that through our intention, and the dolphins can help you. Our whole module 2 in our Whale and Dolphin School is about that. It's about calibrating and recalibrating your own DNA, all 12 strands. Okay, and then a message from the whales and dolphins, and then a beautiful prayer of service to dedicate your life back to service. You know? Okay, and these next 2 CDs are more messages, as you know, as I'm a channel for the dolphins and whales. Beautiful messages from them on how to live your life and advice. And the guided meditations one that's coming up are longer ones. They're the ones that you would want to do not driving or anything. You'd want to lie down and experience them. Beautiful journeys with the whales to raise your vibration. Yeah.
And then there's 7 classes and workshops. Wow.
Yeah. So obviously activating the third eye, I teach some of the Flower of Life work. And we practice triangulation so we can step out of duality and go into 0 point. Very powerful. Yeah, develop your intuition. This is a 4-week class where, oh no, sorry. No, it's not. Sorry, it's a 3-hour class. But it goes deeper into that, like what we've talked about today, practicing ways to connect to your guides and use your telepathy. So I just basically want everybody to know it's possible, that you can do it. Okay? And here's a class on manifesting, you know, but when you're in your heart, you're accessing the soul energy. Manifesting is not hard. In fact, it's fun. It's easy, using the law of attraction. So that was a really fun class. I think everybody would love that. Right. And the powerful healing modalities.
Yeah, 6 hours.
Yeah, it was a full day. We did 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon. And I introduced you to all kinds of different healing techniques. We worked with the angels, we worked with the violet flame, the whales, the dolphins, the Pleiadians. We did some toning that comes from the Lemurian choir that Dr. Ovakaitis put together, which comes again through the Pleiadian consciousness. And we worked with Andar crystals. So that's a lot in one day, but they all work.
And then
Okay, now
there's
here's one that,
yeah,
go ahead. This one's a 4-week workshop again. Lots of practice with all the things we've just said, like getting in touch with your heart, getting in touch with your soul, knowing, you know, a little bit more about who you are in before you came to Earth, your star family, so you can connect to them, can meet your guides, just a communication with spirit in general, and making it conscious choices as opposed to unconscious, and finding out more of what your service plan is. I mean, everybody's here to be of service to something, and tuning into that and having the support to do that.
Right.
So, and here's an animal communication class where we specifically just work with animals, a little bit like we did today, having people show pictures of their animals and then, asking questions, and starting with simple questions, moving up into questions that, maybe you've never really been able to get the answer to, including animals that have passed over.
Mhm.
So the techniques there will help you.
And then the last one.
This is one of my favorite things. I've said before that in 2012, Puda revealed to us that her soul is Seth. And Seth, she's always said that she was very ancient. And I've had a couple of different angels I've spoke with told me that Seth is older than them. That, I was really should, count my blessings for having Seth choose to come and live with me in the cat form and teach me cosmology. So all of these questions, basically, Puda has her finger on, so to speak. I mean, and from her soul's perspective, she can tell you where you were, what star you were living on, when the earth was reseeded, like 13,000 years ago. What are you here to do now? What is your family? I'm going to call it your star family. How are they connecting to you, and how can they help you? It's finding the Christ energy within you. And I don't mean the being we know as Jesus. I'm talking about the divine embodiment that you are, and how that vibration can change your physical connection. This is a really great class, and everybody gets to find out a lot about themselves. Maybe they didn't know, that can be very valuable.
Absolutely. So there's so many things here. There's 7 workshops and courses, classes and workshops, and 4 products. But in total, it's 147, and there's a 2 and 3 part payment plan. And then for the 24-hour special, please use the code TACS10 so you can get 10% gift from me. But the thing is, in this special offer package, there's so many wonderful ways to enhance your intuition, to communicate more with your animals, with your guides, with your angels, to open up your pineal gland, to start to raise your frequency and vibration, to start in aligning with your soul's purpose. Because a lot of people are still wondering, what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? What, there's something here, I'm not sure what it is. So there's so much wisdom in these teachings, but it's not just wisdom, it's not just words, it's energies and frequencies and vibrations and healing. And of course, the whales come in, and the dolphins, and all of that wonderful stuff is going to change who you are. If you're wanting transformation, this is a wonderful package to help you to get started and get moving onto your path, and also to help you to, talk to your animals, talk to your guides, talk to your angels, talk to your body, etc. So again, this package is available at alara.at/show/Laurie2. Please do take advantage of it and take a look at it. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat. And I was going to type in I always try and type in the link in the chat, because just in case people who are on the phone, for example, cannot always see what we all see. So let me type that in. And in the meantime, Laurie, do you want to talk about the new energies, etc., and what is going on, and what we can experience, or what we can expect moving forward, and as well as the process you wanted to do?
Well, this morning, I was having my morning meditation, and I was getting out some of the, channels and the pieces I've done in the past on telepathy and clairaudience, and just, putting things in a folder so I could refer to them if need be. And my guide said, why don't you do the process that you prepared for the radio? Because this is like that, and people could hear the message. It's a condensed version of the original channel, which I will tell you, if you want to see the original channel, it's in our newsletter this month. And if you're not on our mailing list, you can obviously be on our mailing list at any time. Just go to our website and sign up for it. It comes out once a month, and we put in the current channels basically that we're doing, either with whales, dolphins, with Seth. Sometimes, another being will come in, or an Arcturian or Palladian, or somebody that wants to talk. So I made the message that I got in early January regarding what's happening in 2022, because people ask, what is your prophecy, or what does Puda think, or whatever. So I took that message and I condensed it, because This year, I thought it was the most powerful message ever. And it speaks of the date, January 22nd, which is just passed,
Mhm.
being a doorway or a gateway into the new world without karma. And again, this is a choice. I mean, people that aren't ready to step onto that path, but I believe everyone listening to the show is either already is on that path or ready to step onto that path where they're ready to dump their karma and they're ready to do what, like Puna said earlier, stop thinking, feeling or talking or being in any kind of negativity. You just say no to it. You say no, come back to the heart, come back to the heart, come back to the heart, where there is only love, only solution energy. Then you can experience this doorway, which is leading us into the new earth while being on the old earth. Okay, so we can exist in our 3D world, but live in a 5D reality while we're here right now. Such great news. So I'm going to read it to you.
Okay, cool.
And then at the end, there's a little process where together we can raise our vibration and connect to the earth herself, which is a great thing, I think, here to do. And we're just now in another little gateway, which was February 2nd, 2/2/2022 is a powerful energy that we're just kind of in right now, only February 3rd. Okay, so I would recommend closing your eyes or even putting a blindfold on. Okay, and here we go. Okay. And this is the voice of Seth. I mean, the message is from Seth. Okay. Beloved ones, we are standing at the dawn of a new era, one that we are co-creating as we transverse the planetary shifts and lend our vision and hearts to a world in great transition. I know these are not easy times. However, as we stand together and as heart-centered beings of light, knowing we are here to fulfill a sacred and timely destiny, we must rise above the challenges, holding light and peace and bonding, sharing with other like-minded individuals and groups. The reasons we incarnated in this life are being revealed. Great destinies are waiting to be fulfilled. It's so important that we stay connected to each other as we are today, choosing to ride the tide of the waves of change. It is a most historic time on Earth from the higher planes. Masses of souls are awakening right now and will continue to change life as we know it on planet Earth. 2022 is being heralded in as one of the most illustrious and significant points in all time, and we call this the Great Awakening. This comes because masses of souls have been undergoing a powerful transformation over the past few years, clearing the depths of their lives to unveil the shadow elements so that they may be cleared, and they then turn to dedicating to healing all that has held us back. We are here to say goodbye to the darkness within the illuminated self so that we can claim our true, authentic selves and create a clear connection to your soul. So for anyone that is struggling with the challenges and changes, I ask you to come into your heart and ask to experience this grand play from a higher vantage point, to see the truth of what is really going on. Clarity and focus with pure intention is now essential to be able to see the new direction of humanity and the positive potentials for our future. As the amnesia clears for each of us, the spirit within is activated to full glory and vision in our consciousness. As more and more individuals awaken and fully realize they are divinity embodied, we anchor the new vibration of a higher consciousness and dimensional existence. You are among the many awakening souls who I call the front runners. You are ready for the next expansion under the Great Alignment. Many of you have now experienced the last vestiges of suffering as you have set your intention for core level karmic cleanup. Great divine support has been lending its hand in clearing the deepest recesses of your Akash. Making these choices has catapulted many souls back into their authentic selves. From this vibration, you can assist the divine plan, co-creating positive planetary change and affecting our planetary destiny. Congratulations to those of you who have answered this call. I can now announce a major leap in the soul evolution of those souls who have incarnated for this specific moment in time. As you hear this message, take note if it resonates for you in your body. On January 22nd, 2022, the great alignment I speak of will be complete, orchestrated largely by the archangels, along with many masters and hosts of light that serve this planet and our awakening. Awakened ones will find that they are living more fully in their authentic selves. The lessons of the past will be fully integrated as internal wisdom, and you will find your attention being fully present in the now. You will also know without a doubt that your future is intact, and that we have literally flipped the old timeline to that of a 5D peaceful future. If this message resonates for you, you are hearing the words of your own soul's truth. You are here to assist in this great divine plan to free a world and its people from endless suffering, which has been the way of life here for eons. Your ability to demonstrate peace and neutrality in the face of negativity or chaos will sustain you and will change more lives than you know. Many of you are remembering that you are in this world for very important reasons, but you are not of this world. So embrace this. 2022 is the dawn of a new era. Therefore, it is of utmost importance for each soul to do a thorough life evaluation and inventory as we say goodbye to 2021. Ask yourself the important questions as you make plans for this coming year. What frequency are you committed to living in? What dimensional reality are you called into? What are your personal desires and prayers? Are you ready to release all that no longer serves your soul's progression into the light? Now is the opportunity, more than ever before, to become free and to express and live the life your soul desires. Access your strengths, your heart, and your courage, as this is what we have truly waited for as a collective. There is an unstoppable unifying action moving across the earth. Stop now to feel that. This is the most powerful movement of light we have ever known, and it is set on awakening the many masses of people. With millions of souls engaged, and a supporting cast of enlightened ones from the higher realms, instrumenting this great change, nothing on earth will be the same. This is the moment that we've waited for as this great shift occurs. This positive change will continue despite the increased control and harm taking place on the planet. Souls of the earth are coming of age. We are entering a new timeline, a new energy, a new frequency pattern. Many of you are here to demonstrate this great awakening and to become a leader for many others to evolve in a natural but yet timely way. I am here to remind you that this truly is the time where you can choose to illuminate the soul self within the physical form. We are manifesting our sacred destiny on earth within our human forms. Many souls now bring their vision to this grand plan, lending their positive energies to the planetary shifts. Expect to see a more perfect world emerge out of the old form like a butterfly from a chrysalis. 2022 is a new beginning, opening us to a new dawn. Many of you are souls that are coded to fully activate and awaken right now, to start the creation of your light bodies, and to follow your destiny, to lead the way for others. Take note that in January 22nd, 2022, this major dimensional shift will occur. A vast portal of light will open as prophesized. This portal will bring a shift in vibration that will bring a tremendous acceleration to planetary consciousness. Many awakened souls will expand in their conscious awareness, and their specialized gifts will manifest. For those that are still sleeping, they will receive a powerful activation targeting their hearts and the codes of creation within them. Amnesia will fall away for many that have been on earth and have been bound to the old reality of 3D, duality, and challenge. Awakening is the keynote word of 2022. Are you awakening? While this has been an ongoing theme, I tell you the next wave of souls will come of age this year and join the awakened and powerful collective of light workers that already exists. The new network of light spans dimensions and races. This new light network is designed to uplift, inspire, and advance humanity and all beings into a higher vibrational field that we can call 5D or 0 point. Some even call it heaven on earth. This title or change is birthed from within each of us and will take form all around you. Our harmonizing energetic is occurring in 2022, and through this alchemical process, our new world is born. 2022 is the key in the lock of such great change. Beloveds, stay strong in the light. living and creating every day from your hearts. Avoid the mind, avoid the chatter, avoid the temptation to negativity. Listen to your soul and know that we are all here by divine design, fulfilling this great destiny as we return to working with the earth herself. You are loved and supported beyond your imagination. I am Seth. And now I'm going to lead everyone that's willing into a sacred process to prepare you to live in this new and powerful energy that we are now in as we pass that marker of January 22nd. I've been practicing a meditation that is simple but profound in refreshing the unity balance of energy in our bodies. It comes from the living Maya and was given for this time in history where we begin this new cycle. According to the Mayan people, we have just finished the Katun cycle and have literally flipped the old timeline into a focus that is based on our future timeline. We're beginning a new cycle that is 26,000 years long. This timeline of our future will take us into the age of peace and harmony for all who will embrace it. It is a huge opportunity to let go of the past and all that is no longer working for you. It is also a time to open your hearts and fully surrender yourself to the new frequencies that are rising up in your body. This cosmic timeline flip will bring us new opportunities to create peace and harmony. So let us move into sacred space now and to share this sacred process. We call out now to the heart of the sun. We call out now to the heart of the earth. Take a moment to breathe them both into your heart from below and from above. We call out now to the heart of the east. We call out now to the heart of the north. We call out now to the heart of the west. And we call out now to the heart of the south. And now we call out to the heart of the hearts within your own sacred body, your physical heart. Go within and feel the shifting energies now as we have opened the 7 directions. Fresh cosmic energy coming from the great central sun begins to descend into your physical body, starting at your crown chakra. Take a breath and let it in. At the same time, newly upgraded energy comes from the core of Mother Earth, begins to rise up into your physical body, beginning at your root chakra. This process, as you're feeling now, is much like a lightning bolt striking the earth. When a lightning bolt descends from the sky, the earth's energy reaches up to meet the descending bolt, to absorb it. This merging point of descending cosmic energy within the rising physical energy of the earth reaches us at center point, which is your heart. The heart is the center of all centers, as it should be. So as you run the energy through your body, you will initiate a great ocean of potential. Breathe life into this ascension process, allowing the wisdom to be released within you. This is the merging of both Mother, Father, God within you and the creation of this perfect unity. As you do this, you may experience flashes of enlightenment. You may see or feel things that you're not comfortable with yet. Allow the elevation to occur in the expansion, and all is well. And now we will share an attunement that is centered on forgiveness from the heart. As we move into the new energies, it's important to let go of everything that might be harming you or that you're holding, sometimes in consciousness and sometimes in unconsciousness. To say to myself, I am a flame of divinity, and I forgive myself for imagining that I was unworthy of love. I forgive myself for the mistakes that I have made. I forgive myself for the negative thoughts and words and actions that I have caused. I forgive myself for the pain and the harm and the heartache that I have caused myself. I forgive myself for the sorrow that I have caused myself. I am deserving of love. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And now think of the first person that comes to mind. This may be a person that you have hurt in some way through your thoughts or words or actions. And find yourself saying, I am sorry that I was unkind and hurtful to you. what I did was wrong. Out of my own anger and my own fear and pain, I reacted in a way that caused you pain. You have nothing to fear from me today, for my thoughts and my words and my actions that caused you pain before no longer exist. I ask for your forgiveness. Please forgive me. I am truly sorry. I breathe in love, and I breathe out love. I do this for you. And now think of someone that you may have deliberately or accidentally caused pain through your thoughts, feelings, or actions. As they come to mind, allow it in. Moving into the sacred loving heart, say, I have carried the pain and sorrow of your actions in my heart too long. Today I put them down. I set you free, and I release you from my emotional baggage. You have nothing to fear from me. I am neutral and I am peaceful. For the harm and pain you have caused me, I forgive you. I forgive you for the heartache and the sorrow that you have caused me. I forgive you for the heartache and sorrow that you have caused me. It is done. As a flame of divinity, I recognize the blessing I have had in each one of these unique experiences to know myself as love and to experience the full range of my human emotions. I breathe in love. I hold my breath, and I breathe out all that is being released at this time. I choose to release all judgment and blame of myself and others. Through the renewal of my mind, my body, my spirit, and my heart, I move into the golden age of light. I am experiencing now the new Earth template for 2022. I choose to walk the path of divine love, accelerating into the next level of my soul's blossoming magnificence and light. So each of you now take a deep breath, ground yourself once more. Take another deep breath and breathe in the energy of the sun. As I return to consciousness, I acknowledge that this heart attunement has taken me into 0 point, the infinite, ever-present now moment of divine love. I am fully present. I have by my own free will expanded the dimensional doorway of my loving heart into the higher dimensions to see and feel my true authentic self. I declare that all is well. I am that I am. I am my beloved I am presence. And so it is. Namaste. Now if everybody would come back, open your eyes, give yourself a big hug. And just, I choose life. Thank you for my life. I choose life. Be the best possible representation of love that you can be, knowing you have incredible support. And thank you again for joining this community with Alara today. It's certainly been my pleasure to be a part of it. Thank you.
Wow, that was beautiful. I'm not back completely yet. So how is everybody else doing? How was that for you? I just found I felt so much energy pouring through me, especially, I don't know, especially when, but it's like there's just so much. It was amazing. Andrea says, namaste, that was amazing. Yes, it was, wasn't it? Linda also says that was amazing. Oh, goodness. Whew. Trisha says, thank you, Laurie and Laura, for a call full of great messages, learnings, energy. Amazing. That's the magic word for today. Amazing. We missed
An awakening.
An awakening. Absolutely. The message was so powerful, and it is about awakening. I love it. It was, but we missed seeing Fuda, right?
Well, if you want to just talk for a minute, I'll grab her so you can all see her.
Sure. Yeah, because it's just, I think it's the first time that we haven't seen her on screen on one of our shows. So yes, how is everybody else doing? Maria says, thank you. You're so welcome. It was, keep grounding if you need to, drink water, as well. Edith says, Laurie brings such clear energy. Yes, absolutely. Madalena says, feels amazing. Lots of relief, forgiving, love, lots of tears coming. Thank you so much. Whew. Maria says, so powerful messages, I think. Ariana says, wow, it was so beautiful, so powerful. Thank you both. Sherry says, absolutely transformative, beautiful. Tara says, powerful and full of love and light. Yes, amazing. Thank you so much. Deborah says, I'm loving gratitude for this blessing of great love and light. So much in divine timing, right? Yes, absolutely. Many new ideas for me to explore. Trisha says, planning to get Laurie's package. Grateful. Yeah, there's a lot of teachings, lots of wisdom for sure. Definitely, I would highly recommend it. It's a wonderful package for sure. All right, Laurie. Oh, there you go. I'll stop talking so you can be on the screen.
I was sleeping, but I'm back now.
Yay. And yeah, because she wasn't with us at all during this call. Oh, looking good.
She was with us subconsciously, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Wants to
And
sit on our stool.
yeah, does Puda have a message for any of us, for all of us? That was amazing.
Well, the message was that channel, really, that's from her.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
just embrace the new year, embrace the new energies.
absolutely. Let go of what doesn't serve you, let go of what doesn't empower you, let go of what is not, I think you said at the beginning, let go of anything that is negative, right? Oh, we can't hear you.
She's saying stay clean of the lower energies. See, she's cleaning herself. She's showing you.
Yes. Oops.
To be love in all ways. Choose love. Choose the heart.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, always come back from your head to your heart, especially if you're having, thoughts that are not positive, that are not loving, that are not empowering. Come back to your heart space. Listen to your heart and what it has to say.
And
right?
to remember, you are the creator of your own experience. So if you don't like what you're creating, create something else.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is like, I think we said at the very beginning that we are powerful. We're much more powerful than we give ourselves credit for, right? Yeah. So recognize that power within yourself, right? Recognize the power that something else is possible, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's an old saying that God doesn't make any junk, he makes only divine embodiments. So love yourself back into that authenticity,
Yeah, absolutely. And there we go. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Okay. Oh, so cute. Hi, Lucas.
Brother.
So cute.
He said, I'm made out of duct tape and rubber bands. He's just, oh.
So cute. Oh my goodness.
He was a good boy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm missing my Neo. Beautiful. Thank you. So again, I would just highly recommend you guys check out the package from Laurie, alara.at/show/Laurie2. And don't forget to use the 24-hour special code TACS10. And yes, if you are having negative thoughts, if you are having feelings of unforgiveness, etc., do the process again, right? That process that we just did, do it again.
Every day. Yeah.
It's not a one-time thing. I mean, I'll be honest, there's still some things that I'm working on forgiving, so, it's not just like one and done, right? There's lots of little layers and lots of little pieces and lots of different perspectives that we've had over the years, that the forgiveness will help to let go and clear up and raise your frequency and vibration.
I think when we're first having our opening, whatever that is for you, your spiritual awakening, I was mad. I was mad that I'd been lied to by the government, by teachers, by religions. I was just mad. I was mad for a long time. That I was disappointed in the world, and I thought they could have done better, because when your telepathy comes in, you only hear truth. I mean, you immediately know if something's not true. Your body reacts to it completely different. No one can lead you astray, I guess is what I'm saying, because you become a conscious creator. And that's what you want. So, but if you're in the stage where you're kind of mad at the world because, it's sort of misled you, remember you were a part of that. And we all awaken at a certain time. Buddha always says all the flowers in the field don't bloom on the same day. So maybe
That's
this is
true.
your blooming time, And so be patient with the others. And don't expect something from them that, you're not willing to do yourself,
Yeah.
and be the example. They say we are the ones we've been waiting for. So every day can be a new awakening to a higher vibration now because you're aware. It's your perception. When I go, we've always got mantras here going on. And when the science came through with Dr. Emoto and Dr. Tado Vakaides, where they proved that the whale sound changes the molecular structure of the water in your body and anywhere, really. I was so excited. I was just so excited. But then after that, Buddha said, okay, every morning I'm going to ask you, what do your water crystals look like in your blood right now? What do they look like? What do they look like? Okay, you better put whale sounds on. So I'm aware of that now. You see, I carry that consciousness as like, what's going on inside in the water in my body right now?
Yeah.
Because if I change that vibration, I change me. And that's so simple, just words of love. I am that I am. I am divinity embodied. I am love. I am light. Just those simple thoughts will shift anything that's negative. Okay?
Yeah. So know that words have power. Absolutely. Your intention has power. Light and love have power. We talked about, filling up your cells with light, with love every day, right? That's powerful, right? And
Yes.
that is transformational. So please do that. That's something simple that we can all do. It doesn't cost anything, right? Laurie, do you have whale sound music on your website?
They're on the CDs that you've seen.
They're on the CDs.
They're actually in the package. Yeah, almost everything in those CDs has whale sounds. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what?
Or dolphin sounds, and dolphins are toothed whales, so they're powerful too.
So there you go. There's lots, and it is powerful. It will start to change, like Laurie was just saying. It'll start to change the molecular structure of your cells in your body as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything. It'll raise the vibration and frequency of your space. So definitely.
It's not hard. It's not complicated. You just got to do it.
Yeah, that's it. Just
You
gotta
have
do
to
so.
walk the talk now.
So are you choosing awakening or are you choosing something different? Right? What are you choosing? Right? Yeah, powerful.
Well, and the
Thank
truth
you.
is, Master Buddha saying the truth is once you've heard the truth too, you can't go back. You can't pretend you didn't hear the truth because your body will go, no. It will get mad at you. It will go, no, you know the truth now. So embrace it. Don't be afraid of it. Have the courage to step onto that path of mastery and that's why you came here, is to do all you can do. Nobody's from Earth. We came here to do stuff that's important. So best get with it, huh?
This is the year. This is the year of awakening. This is a powerful year. And I think you said, Laurie, in the message, this is the most powerful year ever.
Yes.
Right.
The date of January 22nd, according to Seth and to the Mayan people, it's the most important date ever. Ever so far, that we actually have the ability to turn the timeline like this and flip it so that we're not in the duality anymore, unless you choose it, because that's the power you have. We can be on the planet now with people who are still living in 3D, but we're not living in 3D with them. We're living in a different consciousness. So we're not going to be reactive anymore. Isn't that nice? Or just be neutral.
Yes.
Yeah. We have joy. You're seeking joy because that's the fuel you want in your tank. Happiness, well-being. But when negativity comes, and it will, you don't react anymore. You're just like, well, the little kids are playing in the yard, they're throwing rocks, and they'll get past it.
Exactly.
It's not a big deal.
So try not to let yourself get caught up in that drama.
Yeah. And as far as the fear of the world, there's nothing on this planet that can harm you unless you allow it. And that includes viruses and wars and politicians. They can't hurt you. You just, unless you would give them permission to do so, then you're giving your power to them. So don't do that.
So keep raising your vibration, keep raising your frequency, keep staying in your heart, keep staying in love. Right.
Other things will come down the path that, opportunity to go astray will be there.
I love that. Opportunity to go astray.
But, negativity isn't going to go away. It's just going to go out of your life. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes Buddha's sitting by the front door and, I always say, is someone here? She'll go, oh yeah, a lot of people are here. I'm like, what does that mean? And she'll say, well, all the negative ones are sitting out there. They want to come in. And I'm like, well, they're not coming in. She goes, I know, because we put the grid around the house with light layers. And then she goes, you keep on knocking, but you can't come in.
Exactly. So, as that negativity knocks on the door of your mind, say no.
Yeah,
Say nope. You're not
Yeah.
allowed, right?
you have the right to have a sacred temple, what you live in, sacred boundaries that you put around you, light layers when you go out and shopping. You have the right to
Yeah.
insulate yourself with light, and all is well. Then you can just drift on down the road and nobody can touch you. Isn't that nice?
And it's not complicated. You can make it be whatever you want it to be. Just get out of your head and just say, you know what, I'm protected, and just,
What's complicated is fear, because it leads you to another fear and then another fear and then another fear. Pretty soon you're like, that's complicated.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
But this, what we just talked about today, is not. And so trust your knowing, trust with the messages that you're getting telepathically, clairaudiently, just trust and then act on it, right?
Yeah.
As long,
Trust your gut.
they're powerful, not powerful, positive, because they're going to be, if you're getting them telepathically, they're going to be positive,
Yes.
right? So
Right.
check in with your heart space first, raise your vibration first, be in your heart space first. And then it's like, oh yeah, I definitely like this message. I definitely like this message. Yep. And then act on it.
And
Okay.
I could have saying, I challenge everybody that buys the package to go and listen to Entering Your Sacred Heart right away. Do it today, because that will teach you how to do it. And then from that point on, you can say, am I in my heart? Well, you're going to know if you're thinking happy, joyful thoughts. If you're having a judgment, or you're having a negative thought, or you're feeling, oh, I don't think I can do that, you're not in your heart. You immediately have popped out. So go back in.
And again, that is also, something you do on a regular basis, consistently, consistently bring yourself back. Be aware that you are in your heart or not. Just bring it back.
That's
just
it.
Keep bringing it back.
That's the key factor right now. Be aware. Be in the perception of, am I in my heart? Do I feel love? Or am I not in my heart? And I'm, being overtaken by the energies of duality, of polarity.
Polarity. Yeah. Beautiful.
And
powerful. And we have that power to be aware. That is not something that we have to learn or be trained in. We all have that.
She asked me for a closing message. The closing keeps giving more is, what is it? Okay, hold on. Yeah, when you're in your heart, you're embodying the divine being that you are. You're connected to your soul. And that's all there is. That's all it is. That's all that you'll remember when you leave this place. That's the only place you can go where you make a sustainable change to this world, is from the heart, is from the place of love. Everything else is just like going to see a movie. It just fades away. It's not real. It's illusionary. And anything you do that's negative won't make a difference here. Okay. It won't. If anything, it'll create more negativity. It won't make any positive changes. So yeah, remember who you are. And that is, you've come from love and you will return to love. So while you're here, be love. Okay.
Powerful. Be love, be love, be love. And I love what you said earlier on about let the soul be the driver, right?
Yep.
And it's like, instead of your mind, let your soul drive this vehicle, right? And this life, instead of the mind. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Beautiful. Good. Thank you. And thank you everybody for all your questions. I know we didn't get to all the questions and I apologize for that. But I appreciate you all being here and all the questions that we were able to answer. So thank you. And thank you, Lucas, for being here, and Puda for being here and sharing. And thank you, Laurie, like always. I love having you on the show. We always learn something new and we always receive so much from you. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, we love being here. So be well, everyone. Happy 2022. Happening awakening year.
Exactly. Yes, this is going to be a year of awakening for a lot of people. So, there's a lot of work for us to do, to help out, to support. So thank you so much again, everyone. There is no live show tomorrow, in case you're wondering. There's no live show tomorrow. There was supposed to be, but it got postponed. Okay, so no live show tomorrow. All right, everyone. So thank you. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.